The Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals are well underway. Games 1 have been completed, and if I'm honest with you, there have been two really interesting games, and two games that, after looking at it, I'm not sure who's actually going to make the NBA finals, which is absolutely mental, because two of the four teams finished 7th and 8th in their respective conferences. Like, it makes no sense. However, the Lakers and the Heat are doing their best to kind of topple the Denver Nuggets and the Boston Celtics respectively, and if I'm going to be honest, I respect it. After the first games, who's going to get through to the NBA Finals? Well, these are my opinions. Let's get straight into the video. But before we get into it, make sure you are leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, letting me know in the comments what you guys want to see, especially during the off season, because the NBA, it's closing. The NBA season is closing, and I'm very much looking forward to the NBA Finals, the conference finals, like I said, after the first games, which I'll be talking about a little bit in this video. I'm very much looking forward to everything that's going to be happening. And then obviously the draft lottery happened the other night as well, and I feel like everyone's been talking about Victor Wembanyama, and not many people have been talking about the conference finals, which I'm not gonna lie is a little bit out of order, because these conference finals have been absolute entertainment so far. And we'll start with the Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. The Los Angeles Lakers, weirdly enough, you know, given the history of the Lakers, given the fact that they've got LeBron, they've got AD, they won the chip 3 years ago. These guys are the underdogs. They've been the underdogs throughout the whole season pretty much, starting 2-10 in the regular season, building it back, you know, making small adjustments at the trade deadline. And let's be honest, some of them small adjustments, they're pulling through. Rui Hachimura, probably the unspoken, not MVP of the Lakers Denver game 1, but one of the main reasons that the game ended up being close, because Denver ran out to a really massive lead, especially after the first quarter. Nikola Jokic absolutely cooking Anthony Davis. He saw that Joel Embiid was made MVP and he was like, I'm not having that. I should have been 3-time MVP, and I must show it against one of the best defensive centers, definitely one of the best centers in the NBA. I've always said that a healthy Anthony Davis I'd take on my team over the likes of Embiid, maybe over the likes of Jokic too, but I think after that game 1, I might be having a bit of second thoughts. Jokic finished with 34 points, 21 rebounds, 14 assists, but AD still pulled his weight too. He had a 40-piece. And let's be honest, that's what AD can do. We've seen how good AD is come playoff time when healthy. So expect quite a few 40 pieces, maybe double-doubles along with the rebounds and stuff. But obviously AD only getting 10 rebounds, Jokic getting 21. Jokic definitely won the centre battle in game 1. And when Darvin Ham made the adjustment to get rid of Anthony Davis and put Rui Hachimura onto Nikola Jokic, Jokic shot the ball a lot worse, didn't take as many shots, wasn't working out for him as much, but the rest of the Denver team kind of picked up the slack, you know, worked together and did enough to kind of just win by 6 in a very high-scoring game, 126 to 132. 6 Denver players ended up in double-digit points, and if I'm honest with you, if you're LA, I won't be too fussed about. I would be fussed. You dropped game 1, but I won't be too worried. I'd be a little bit more hopeful than I would be worried if I was an LA fan right now. You know, if I was Sully, sat back home, you know, saying like, I told you so, LA are going to get to the finals, I'd still have a little bit of hope that LA are actually going to get to the finals. Because, like I said, 6 Denver players in double-digit points. That's probably not going to happen for the rest of the series. Jamal Murray was doing mental stuff. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, a little bit of a revenge game against his former team. I won't say revenge. I won't say that the Lakers kind of did Caldwell-Pope poorly, but still, I digress. He had a great game, 21 points for him. He's probably not going to shoot that many points. He's probably not going to put up that many points for the rest of the series. So if you're a Lakers fan, I'd still be hopeful, because yes, you lost by 6, but there was a few amazing circus shots as well from the likes of Jamal Murray over LeBron James. The one that LeBron James actually acknowledged after it happened, and then the one from Jokic to end the third quarter. Absolutely crazy. But that just shows how good this Denver team can be. Yes, I said that the likelihood that the output of the scoring of the Denver Nuggets probably won't be the same again for the rest of the series, but there could be a chance that it'll still happen. I've always said that Jamal Murray is one of the best playoff performers just from watching him in the bubble. Obviously, this is his first proper playoff run since the bubble. which is, again, still mental to think about. Like I said, Caldwell Pope was one of the main pieces of the Lakers winning in 2020. Aaron Gordon can pull through with a few big dunks here and there. You know, Bruce Brown, probably one of the best like role players in the NBA in terms of like the defense and stuff like that, but he can still put points on the board. So this Denver team is very, very good, but you can never count out a team that has LeBron James and Anthony Davis on it. LeBron James didn't have, well, he did have a good shooting night, but he only put up like 26 points. We can see him do better, so I'd have a little bit of hope if I'm a Lakers fan off of that. Anthony Davis, yes, he put up 40, but I can see him doing it again, maybe once or twice in this series. It's mainly just about how he contains Nikola Jokic, or is Darvin Ham just going to put Rui Hachimura on him a little bit more? That'll be something interesting to see, especially tonight in Game 2. After Games 1, it's hard to really properly decide who's going to be getting through to the next round. Game 2 gives a massive, massive inkling. If Denver can keep home court advantage, go to the Crypto.com arena or whatever it's branded as now, and with a 2-0 lead, you know, and then the pressure is on LA to win 2 straight at home. I think it could go 7 though. And if you're a Lakers fan, that's absolutely mental given how you were at the start of the season. You know, taking Denver to 7. And you know, giving yourself a chance to maybe even get to the finals yet again. And you've still got the likes of D'Angelo Russell, who had a bad game, who we know can pull up with a 20-piece or so in the playoffs, in a series. Austin Reeves, he had a great game. He'll probably have a few good games too. But I'm looking at LeBron James and I'm looking at Anthony Davis as the main guys to power it on. It's pretty much them two versus the whole of the Denver Nuggets, because Nikola Jokic, yes, he's a great scorer, but he's also one of the best passers in the game at 7 foot. So he's going to be able to get his players involved. And if you're a Lakers fan, seeing your players drop 126 in a game is good, but the defense needs to be better. And is Rui Hachimura the answer? Who knows? I think, like I said, Denver need to be winning this game too. And I think if they do win this game too, they'll definitely have the momentum. But I think even if LA win Game 2, I think Denver will have enough to take 1 in LA. And I think it's going to be a massive back and forth series. And I think it's going to go 7. And I think Denver are going to win. The Miami Heat, I said the other week, they were 3 minutes away from not even being in the playoffs. They were down against the Chicago Bulls in the winner-go-home game for the 8th seed with 3 minutes left. They pulled it back, and now they're 1-0 up in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Miami Heat did to the Boston Celtics what Boston did to Philly the other day. Third quarter rout is what it was, and that kind of is what gave Miami the foundation to pull it over the line, even though Boston had a bit of a better fourth quarter. Outscoring the Boston Celtics 46-25 in the third quarter. Jimmy Butler doing his thing, 35 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 steals to go alongside it as well. That was kind of how the game went, because, you know, Jimmy Butler, we know how good he is in the playoffs. We all know about playoff Jimmy Butler, and if I'm honest with you, I really want to see this guy win his first chip, because it will cement him as probably one of the best playoff performers in the NBA if he could actually have a chip to properly go with it. Jason Tatum did have a good game though, and if I'm a Boston Celtics fan, like with the Lakers, it's a little bit more worrying because now you've just dropped home court advantage. You definitely need to go out and win Game 2 now, but this Miami Heat team had probably one of the more complete performances. You had Jimmy Butler doing bits, Bam Adebayo had a great shooting night, so did Max Strus, Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Kyle Lowry. All of the role players alongside Jimmy Butler shot efficiently, so, you know, they didn't shoot too much. I think, obviously, Bam Adebayo took 13, Kyle Lowry took 12, but the likes of Gabe Vincent only took 6 shots, but they were shooting it efficiently. They were shooting over 50%, and they ended up coming through with the win, despite Boston also having a decent shooting night, but not as good. You know, Boston still shot over 50% from the field as a team. You got to think that on a normal night, that'd be enough to win, really. But and in the end, concentration kind of lost it for Boston because they were pulling it back. But 3 costly turnovers from Jason Tatum at the end of the game, including that one where he kind of just faked himself out with the 3. It's them small margins. You have a small margin of error in the playoffs, especially in the Eastern Conference Finals. And we know from last year how small the margin of error is between these two teams. It went down to the last shot. I keep saying the Jimmy Butler potential game winner that went in and out in Game 7. We know how close this is going to be. This has a 7-game series written all over it. Even though Miami are the 8th seed, even though Boston have been doing really well in the playoffs too, you can't count out a Miami team in the playoffs. You can't count out an Eric Spoelstra-led team in the playoffs, because when it comes to, you know, no matter who's on the roster, if you have Eric Spoelstra at the helm, in my opinion, you have a chance, because this guy is so good at switching things and seeing things before they actually happen to make adjustments to stop it from gaining any momentum. He's so good at it, and I think he does obviously get the credit, but obviously not on the level of like Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich. I'm not gonna lie, when does the conversation need to be had for Eric Spoelstra to kind of jump up to that like god level tier of coaches? Is he already there, or does he need maybe a finals run as the 8th seed to kind of cement it? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below though. Like I said though, for Boston, nothing too much to really worry about in terms of the performance. Like I said, Miami had a really complete game. The likelihood that Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, Caleb Martin are going to be doing that kind of making that kind of output every single night for all 7 games, well, potential 7 games, very, very unlikely. And whilst Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they had decent scoring nights, we know that they can do better. We've seen Jason Tatum drop 50 points on amazing shooting. We've seen him drop 40 plus on amazing shooting. We know he can do better than the 30 points that he pulled out the other night. Jaylen Brown, similarly, you know, we've seen him do better than 22 points in a playoff game. Al Horford shot poorly. We know that he can, you know, provide 20 pieces on off nights. And plus, this is a Boston team that, you know, other than Danilo Gallinari, this is a Boston team that's fully fit. So, you know, they've got the likes of Malcolm Brogdon coming off the bench, probably one of the best 6 men in the NBA, literally. So, this is a very strong team, and I think their quality will shine, I think, as the series goes on, but they need to win Game 2, because if they don't win Game 2, they could be in some real danger. And if I'm honest with you, I think Miami could even win it in 6 regardless of winning in Game 2. Miami just need to win both their games at the American Airlines. You know, so it's a very interesting kind of dynamic to see how it's going to work. I expect Jimmy Butler to play 44 to 48 minutes every single night. He's going to get ran into the ground, but that's what Jimmy Butler does. I expect him to shoot over 30 points a night as well. I expect him to average near enough a triple-double. Well, average near enough like 35, 7, and 7 throughout the series, just because that's what Jimmy Butler does. They have a bit of a chip on the shoulder to Miami, but equally nothing to lose given that they're the 8th seed. You know, they want to overcome what happened last year in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Celtics, but equally they also have that kind of excitement of becoming the first 8th seed to well, not the first 8th seed to reach the finals, but the first 8th seed to have a massive chance of winning the NBA Finals, because, like I said, put this Miami team, put this Jimmy Butler team, put this Eric Spoelstra team in the NBA Finals, you back them every step of the way. So, I'm very conflicted. Like I said at the start of the video, the fact that 2 of these teams finished 7th and 8th in the conference, or seeded 7th and 8th in the conference, and yet I still don't know who's going to be getting through to the NBA Finals, just shows how quality the NBA has been this year. It's been one of the best playoff runs as a neutral to watch, because obviously my team, the Chicago Bulls, are useless and didn't get in. But like I said, they were 3 minutes off of knocking the Miami Heat out. Who knew? Who knows? This could have been the Chicago Bulls talking about against the Boston Celtics. I'm only kidding, slightly. But let me know what you guys think is going to happen in both of the conference finals matchups. Do you think that we're going to be seeing a 7th versus 8th seed in the NBA Finals? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And I will be back in the future to review a little bit more about what's going on in the NBA conference finals. I'll probably also have a bit of a draft video as well coming up in a little bit too, talking about Victor Wembanyama and all that good stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys next time.